Welcome back, mathematicians. This time we're going to do a quick review about fractions. The reason being is that we're going to jump into exponents right away, but a lot of these things have a lot of fractions in them, or there will be fractions and negative numbers and things like that. So I want to try to kind of remind you of some of those rules that we had before. Okay, so we'll start with the kind of easier case, multiplication, right? So in multiplication, we'll have this kind of situation, maybe 1/2 times 6, right? Um, what you're going to do is just going to multiply straight across. So if you have to, you can put a 1 underneath here. And you're going to have 6 over 2. So again, 1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce that. So each of those reduces by 2. In other words, the 6 can be written as a 3 times 2. And maybe I write that other term is 1 times 2, same thing, right? And then if we look, we can undo what we had before, right? And then we'll have this 2 over 2 reduces to 1. 3 over 1 is just 3. So I have 3, okay? So that's the easy case. And some of you may be more comfortable with this than others. We might be able to just, without doing the 1, figure out that 1/2 times 6 is 6 over 2, and that's equal to 3. So we could skip some steps here depending on our comfort level. Okay, just want to show all the steps just in case. So let's try one on our own. Go ahead and try in your notebooks 3 over 5. Let's multiply by a 2 over 4. Okay, don't forget to reduce this guy, and then I'll catch you on the next set of rules. So I should see an equal something over here. Go ahead and finish that out for me. If I don't see anything, then I'm going to send you back. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. So if you're done watching that part, here's the second part of this guy. There is adding and subtracting occasionally. So I just wanted to remind you of some of the rules. So again, the easy case first. We have 1 over 4 plus a 2 over 4. Okay, this could be a 1/2 too, but we'll see that case next. So in any case, with adding and subtracting, we need common denominators, right? So we can see here they both have 4 on the denominator, which is good for us. And if we remember from some of you had to remember when you're simplifying quadratic formula, but we should have 1 plus 2 over 4, right? And we can combine that top part, which is going to be 3 over 4. And that can't be reduced, so that is my final answer, okay? Next, I have a 3 over 4, right, minus 1 over 3. And, these numbers might seem small, but a lot of times you're going to be dealing with, like, single, like, digit integers, so it's not uncommon. In any case, we don't have common denominators here, so I'm going to have to make them common denominators. So I can use my fraction card, or worst case scenario, I can multiply these two, which in this case is true. Not all the time, but in this case, yes. So my common denominator, so what's the lowest number, or my least common denominator that I can think of? Well, let's go through some numbers, right? Well, I know it has to be a factor of 4. So 4, does 3 divide 4? Not really. Does 3 divide 8? Not really. Does 3 divide 12? Ah, it does. Good. So I want a 12 on the bottom. So what do I need to make this statement true? Okay, so I have to think about that. So what I have here is I have to multiply 3 times this guy. And if I do it times the bottom, I have to do it times the top, because really I'm multiplying by a 1, right? A 3 over 3 is going to be a 1. So this is going to be, it's going to give me a 12 on the bottom, which is what I want. And it's going to give me a 9 on top. Okay, good. All right, let's try it again. So again, I have a 3 on the bottom. I want a 12. So what do I have to multiply times 3 to get me 12? Well, 4. And again, I'm not just multiplying by 4, I'm multiplying by a 4 over 4, right? So multiplying by 1 is not going to change the number, just the look of the number, right? So I have 1 times 4, again, because of multiplication of fraction rule. And then that's going to be a 4 over 12. Okay. Now I can go ahead and combine these. All right. So it's a subtraction operation. So I'm going to have 9 minus 4 over my common denominator, which is 12. This is going to be equal to 5. Okay. And there's plenty of other videos on kind of getting into more depth with this. But for us and at this level, I think this is sufficient. So I will go ahead and catch you on the next video.